We're going to see to it that those of you who actually saved instead of squandering your money on drugs or whatever, you're going to be means tested. So it's just like the olden days, the kids back in high school who were smoking in the boys' room and goofing off and not studying hard. All your life, you have paid so they could collect welfare. Well, that's going to continue into old age. Any of you who made the mistake of actually saving money and being thrifty and not exercising all your pleasures and passions at every moment, you'll pay the price so that others can be given money to go on doing that into old age.
They've defrauded us. It's the greatest heist in human history. They've devised these schemes, these plans, these programs to take more and more of our money and spend it and leave us with absolutely nothing, and they continue the robbery to this day.
Yeah, now you are wise to tell people to take their seats to listen to this show, because you're telling people some hard truth that they're not getting from the mainstream media. But I have to say, I will be happy to give away 50 copies of Crashing the Dollar to the first 50 of your listeners who call a number. Postpaid, but you have to promise that you will fasten your seatbelt before reading this. It's not enough to sit down, because this book will change your life. As will our new book, The Inflation Deception. Once you read it, you will never be able to see the economy or money or government or politicians the same way again. It will transform your whole worldview.
Lowell, we say fasten your seatbelts on this show very often. So
well, you should.
Our class is used to that. Can you give us the information on how our class can get the copy of the book right away?
The easiest, fastest way is just to call a toll-free number. Just leave your name, number. We'll get back to you to get information about where to send it and see how we can be of help to you with other things, other books and so on. 800-630-1494 is the number. This isn't like Columbus. This isn't 1492, but it's 800-630-1494. We'll probably give that once more before our time runs out. And this is for a 208-page book. This is not one of those things where we say, you get it for $2, but you have to pay $50 shipping and handling. No, we cover all of that. We'll cover the freight on that, because my esteemed co-author, Craig Smith, very wealthy guy, he had already retired, and then he looked around and said, the world isn't going to be fit for my grandchildren unless we try to restore fundamental American values here. And, of course, what the founders of this country did, they hated paper money. They did not want the American base to be paper money. They wanted everything to be metal, which is the biblical standard. Mm-hmm. The Bible specified gold and silver as money here.
Well, as does the Constitution.
The really scary thing for people is realizing that if you are holding your life savings in paper dollars, you may as well be holding them in the stock of a company about to go bankrupt.
Lowell, I'm holding a copy of Crashing the Dollar. I haven't gotten the latest book, but I'm sure we will get that very soon. And your last book that you and Craig Smith wrote was a bestseller on WorldNet Daily.
bestseller. I am told, yeah.
Yeah. And
by the way, I'll be on the WorldNet Daily cruise to Alaska the end of August, early September. So if you want to meet Joe Farah, if you want to meet Jerry Corsi, who has this amazing new book out on whether Obama was born in the U.S. or not, about his birth certificate. A lot of us will be on that cruise. You can meet all of us.
Mark and I need to see if we can work a remote for this show so that we can be on the cruise.
You need to find an electrified whale to send your show out. But here are a few of the problems that we're facing. Remember, I said the government's now borrowing $85,000 or $58,000 a second.
Yes.
That adds up to $210 million every hour. Now, how much is that? That is more than the U.S. paid for Alaska in 1967 in inflation-adjusted dollars. That is almost at an hour and 10 minutes of how fast the government's now borrowing money and putting it on your tab for your kids to pay off at you. That's what Thomas Jefferson paid for the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
Now, lest we remember, the Louisiana Purchase included the land that today is Missouri.
It is, and it's great.
Let me just give you the list so you can see how crazy this borrowing is. The Louisiana Purchase included Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and large portions of what today are Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, and Minnesota. That's how much we're borrowing every hour and 10 minutes.
Astounding.
Let me give that number again. 1-800-630-1494. 800-630-1494.
And they're going to give away 50 free copies
Absolutely.
of the
to
book.
the first 50 people who call.
Inflation
So if
Deception.
you want to do this, you should dial the number now. Don't despair. Just keep dialing, because we may be piled up on the line. You may always have a hope of getting that. The point, on top of that, the government is not only borrowing all that money and putting it on our tab, they're also, when you hear about the gross domestic product, up to 40% of what we call America's gross domestic product is just government spending by federal, state, and local governments.
It's outrageous.
It's not real economy. I mean, 40% of that is fake. 36% of what the government defines as wages are welfare, unemployment checks for almost 2 years, and the like. 47% of the people in this country now pay no income tax. Oh, and by the way, Gallup just did a poll showing that 47% of the country now thinks we should tax the rich more, the productive side of the country more. In other words, the people who are pulling them for free in the wagon should be demanded to pull even faster. There are now twice as many government employees in the U.S. as there are people working in all of manufacturing. We are, as the Wall Street Journal said, as Stephen Moore wrote, we are now a country of takers instead of makers. And how long we can keep going that way, this is why I say you cannot risk putting your faith, putting all your life savings in paper dollars, because the International Monetary Fund last summer said the U.S. is already bankrupt. We're already as deep in debt as the amount of money we claim to make every year. And what that means is, you'd certainly be on credit watch. They'd be tearing up your credit cards now if you were a private individual. But what it means is there are really only three things the politicians can do if they want to stop this. They can, number one, double all federal taxes. They're not going to do it. They can cut all government spending in half. They're not going to do it because that's how they buy their elections. The third option, they can turn on the printing press and just print money.
Yeah.
Quantitative easing 3.
By the way, you might have noticed Ben Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, held a press conference today.
He did.
At which he said, here's my favorite quote from Ben Bernanke today, "The slowdown is at least partly temporary."
Yeah. Lowell, it's
Well, which
outrageous.
part is that, Ben?
Lowell, we have we're getting into to our last break, and we'd like to have you back. This sounds to me like we just touched on Chapter 1.
You know, you should also talk to my brilliant co-author, Craig Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He is so smart and so knowledgeable. He's been doing this for 30 years.
He says the same thing about you. If I read you the email that he sent us, you'd be blushing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he has glowing things to
because
say.
I learned well at his knee.
Well, Lowell, thank you so much for joining us. We will have you back. And for the folks out there, just a reminder, they're going to give away 50 books just released in the last few days. The name of the book, Lowell, is Inflation Deception by Lowell Ponte and Craig R. Smith. Call 1-800-630-1494. They're going to give away 50 copies right now today. So call. Lowell, thank you for coming on USA Prepares today.
Hey, my pleasure, and thank you guys for having the courage to tell people the truth. You're helping save this country.
You're so kind, Lowell.
Thank you. And you're listening to USA Prepares. I'm Mark Wright, and the original survival economist is Vincent Finelli. We'll be back for the last break right after these brief few minutes.
Watch the green